One man told a lie so perfect that Adolf Hitler made the worst military decision of World War II because of it. This isn't Hollywood. This is the true story of how a Spanish chicken farmer with no training, no connections, and no resources became the most successful double agent in history and changed the outcome of the war. His name was Juan Pujol Garcia. And by the time you finish this video, you'll understand why he's the only person ever decorated by both Nazi Germany and the British Empire. Barcelona, 1912. Juan Pujol Garcia is born into a middle-class family. Nothing special. Average student, unremarkable childhood. He tries his hand at different jobs: hotel management, cinema ownership, chicken farming. Everything fails. By his late 20s, he's going nowhere. Just another face in the crowd. Then the Spanish Civil War breaks out in 1936. Pujol is conscripted. He serves reluctantly on the nationalist side, but he hates it. He sees the brutality, the senselessness, the propaganda, and he develops a deep, burning hatred for fascism. Not the intellectual kind you debate in cafes, the visceral kind that comes from watching it destroy lives up close. When World War II erupts in 1939, Pujol watches from Spain as Hitler's war machine rolls across Europe. France falls. Britain stands alone. And Pujol, this failed chicken farmer, makes a decision that sounds absolutely delusional. He's going to stop Hitler. Himself. Personally. January 1941. Pujol walks into the British Embassy in Madrid. He tells them he wants to be a spy. He wants to infiltrate the German intelligence service and work for Britain. The British look at this nobody with no credentials, no training, no intelligence background, and they do exactly what you'd expect. They laugh him out of the building. Pujol tries again. Rejected. He tries a third time through different channels. Rejected again. The British aren't interested in random Spanish civilians with hero complexes. They have professional intelligence networks. They don't need amateurs. Most people would quit. Pujol doesn't. Instead, he has an idea so audacious, so completely insane, that it just might work. If the British won't let him spy for them, he'll spy for the Germans. And then he'll use that position to help the British anyway. Act 3. The con begins. 3:45. Pujol approaches the German Abwehr, their military intelligence service. He tells them he's a Spanish government official with pro-Nazi sympathies. He has access to diplomatic channels. He's planning a trip to Britain. Would they be interested in reports from inside enemy territory? The Germans say yes. They give him invisible ink, a codebook, and instructions for dead drops in Lisbon. They're excited. They think they've recruited a valuable asset. There's just one problem. Pujol has no intention of going to Britain. He doesn't even have a visa. He can't get one. So he moves to Lisbon, Portugal, and does something that requires either genius or madness or both. He decides to fake it, all of it. Act 4. The Fake Network. 5 minutes. Picture this. Pujol sits in a Lisbon library with tourist guidebooks, train timetables, British magazines, and a blue guide to England. But he starts writing intelligence reports as if he's there. Agent reporting from London. British morale is low after recent bombings. Observed troop movements near Portsmouth. Citizens rationing supplies. Widespread complaints about food shortages. He invents details. He describes weather patterns he reads about in newspapers. He calculates ship departure times from shipping bulletins. He creates an entire fictional spy network. He gives them names, backgrounds, personalities. He has an imaginary pilot who watches airfields, an imaginary civil servant who overhears conversations in government offices, an imaginary soldier providing troop movements. And here's where it gets wild. The Germans believe every single word. Of course, Pujol makes mistakes. He's working from tourist guides, not actual intelligence. At one point, He reports that Glaswegians will do anything for a liter of wine. Anyone who knows Scotland knows they drink whiskey, not wine. He describes British soldiers at a location where no soldiers are stationed. He gets geography wrong. His details don't quite match reality. But the Germans don't catch it. Or maybe they don't want to catch it. They're so hungry for intelligence from inside Britain that they overlook the inconsistencies. They start paying him more money, sending more requests. They think they've hit gold. British intelligence, meanwhile, notices something weird. They're intercepting German communications that reference a spy network in Britain. But they can't find these spies, because they don't exist. The British start investigating. Who is feeding this information to the Nazis? Act 6. The recruitment. It takes months, but British intelligence finally traces the reports back to Pujol in Lisbon. And instead of being angry, they're amazed. This random Spanish guy has successfully convinced the entire German Abwehr that he's running a major spy network. Without any training, without any help. Just intelligence, creativity, and audacity. February 1942. British intelligence approaches Pujol. They offer him what he wanted all along, a chance to work for Britain. They bring him to London. They give him a handler, a genius named Thomas Harris. Together, they're going to turn Pujol's fake spy network into the most effective deception operation of the entire war. They give Pujol a new codename, Garbo, because he's the greatest actor in the world. Now the real work begins. Pujol and Harris don't just send random intelligence anymore. They send the Germans real information, but information that's either useless or arrives too late to matter. They mix in lies so sophisticated, so layered, that the Germans never suspect. Pujol expands his fictional network. He now claims to have 27 sub-agents scattered across Britain. Each one has a personality, a background, a reason for having access to intelligence. There's a Venezuelan student in Glasgow, a Welsh nationalist who hates the British government, an American sergeant, a pilot, a civil servant. None of them exist, but Pujol writes their reports with such detail that the Germans believe they're all real people. The Germans promote Pujol. They give him more money. At one point they're paying him so much that British intelligence is actually funding MI5 operations with Nazi money. Pujol even kills off one of his imaginary agents to make the network more believable. He reports that the agent died of illness. The Germans send condolence money to the fictional widow. Act 8. Fortitude. 11-0. The Allies are planning Operation Overlord, D-Day, the invasion of Normandy. It's the most important military operation of the war. If it fails, the war could drag on for years. Millions more could die. The Allies need every advantage they can get. The Germans know an invasion is coming. They just don't know where. The entire Atlantic coast is a possibility. Normandy, Calais, Norway, anywhere. Hitler has divisions stretched across thousands of miles. Wherever the Allies land, the Germans will rush reinforcements. The Allies need Hitler to rush them to the wrong place. Enter Operation Fortitude, the largest military deception in history. The Allies create fake armies. They build inflatable tanks, fake landing craft, dummy airfields. They use double agents to feed false information to Germany. And at the center of it all is Garbo, Juan Pujol Garcia. Act 9. The Lie That Won the War, 1215. June 5th, 1944. The night before D-Day. Pujol sends a message to his German handlers. It's deliberately sent late at night, when he knows no one will be monitoring. The next morning, he sends another message. Why didn't you respond? I sent urgent intelligence last night. I had information about Allied preparations. This makes Pujol seem more credible. He's so dedicated, he's working late into the night. He's frustrated that the Germans aren't taking him seriously. The Germans apologize. They promise to monitor his messages 24/7 from now on. They've just promised to listen to every word Pujol says. June 6th, D-Day. Thousands of Allied troops land on the beaches of Normandy. The Germans are caught off guard. They fight back, but they're not sure if this is the real invasion or a diversion. This is Pujol's moment. He sends a message. Confirmed. The Normandy landings are a diversion. The real invasion force is still waiting to attack Pas de Calais. It's a complete lie. Normandy is the real invasion. There is no second force. But Pujol sells it. His fictional spy network confirms massive troop buildups near Dover. His imaginary agents observe preparations for a second invasion. The reports are detailed, specific, convincing. And Hitler believes it. He believes Garbo. He holds back entire panzer divisions near Calais, waiting for an invasion that will never come. For weeks after D-Day, Hitler refuses to send reinforcements to Normandy, because he's convinced the real attack is still coming at Calais. By the time Hitler realizes he's been deceived, it's too late. The Allies have established a foothold in Normandy. The liberation of Europe has begun. And a chicken farmer with a typewriter played a crucial role in making it happen. After the war, Pujol receives medals from both sides. The Germans, still not knowing he was a double agent, award him the Iron Cross. The British make him a member of the Order of the British Empire. He's the only person in history decorated by both Nazi Germany and the Allied forces. Then Pujol does something very spy-like. He disappears. He fakes his death from malaria in Angola and starts a new life in Venezuela. For decades, the world thinks he's dead. British intelligence can't find him. Historians think his story might be exaggerated or even fictional. Then, in 1984, a researcher tracks him down. Pujol is alive, running a bookstore in Caracas. He agrees to break his silence. He travels to London, where he's finally recognized for his contribution to the war effort. He visits the beaches of Normandy on the 40th anniversary of D-Day. Closer, 1530. Juan Pujol Garcia died in 1988. No monuments, no grand funeral, just a quiet life after the greatest performance in military history. Here's what his story teaches us. You don't need to be special to do something extraordinary. Pujol wasn't a trained spy. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't connected or powerful. He was a failed chicken farmer who hated fascism and refused to accept no for an answer. He proved that creativity and conviction can be more powerful than resources. That one person armed with nothing but intelligence and audacity can change the course of history. That sometimes the most devastating weapon isn't a bomb or a gun. It's a perfectly crafted lie told by someone the enemy never saw coming. So the next time someone tells you you're not qualified, not connected, not special enough to make a difference, remember the chicken farmer who fooled Hitler.